following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Coming up, children have been quite vulnerable to the flu this season. How you can detect it in your kids. Ahead.
Plus, Colonel Rock III is all smiles. We will tell you the cause of his good mood later in the show.
Plus, we have seen some spring-like weather outside today. Will this warm weather stay or will snow move back in? Storm Team 3 will have the forecast later on.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
But our top story tonight, a heartbreaking reality is setting into the community of Parkland, Florida after 17 people were killed and more than a dozen injured when a gunman opened fire in a high school. Good afternoon. Welcome to Live at 4. I'm John Benedict.
And I'm Devin Brooks. As the community grieves, there are new questions about what law enforcement knew about the suspected shooter. Omar Jimenez has more details.
Are you Nicholas Jacob Cruz?
Yes, ma'am.
The suspected shooter, 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz, appearing in court this afternoon.
You're charged with some very serious crimes.
He's charged with 17 counts of premeditated murder and Wednesday's shooting rampage at a South Florida school. Today, there are new questions about what the FBI might have known about his troubled past and violence-related posts on social media. According to one law enforcement official, there were at least 2 threat reports that the FBI received about the alleged shooter.
The FBI received information about a comment made on a YouTube channel. The comment simply said, "I'm going to be a professional school shooter." The FBI conducted database reviews, checks, but was unable to further identify the person who actually made the comment.
Authorities continue to dig for answers.
We're not going to leave any stone unturned. We're trying to process this as quickly as we can.
But still, so many questions remain, both for investigators and for a grieving community.
I don't know how she's going to go to school every day. And she's going to have a different teacher. That's going to be a daily reminder.
The conversation turning to what to do next.
Now is the time for this country to have a real conversation on sensible gun control laws in this country.
President Trump offering condolences from the White House.
We are all joined together as one American family, and your suffering is our burden also.
In Parkland, Florida, I'm Omar Jimenez reporting.
Authorities say victims are still being identified. Here are 6 of the 17 killed. Football coach Aaron Feist, who shielded students with his body. Geography teacher Scott Beagle, who was also credited for protecting his students in his classroom. Athletic director Chris Hickson. TS Aquatic Club swimmer Nicholas Dworet, who was going to attend the University of Indianapolis. Alyssa Aldahoff, who was a member of traveling soccer team. And Jamie Gutenberg, who was a daughter of Fred and the sister of Jesse.
Other students and friends are posting messages of condolences. Victims are still being identified. Well, locally, Monmouth Police Department say they responded to a report of a student with a gun earlier today. Police say the student attempted to enter the Regional Alternative Educational Services building with a pellet gun. Before the student could enter, he was detected by staff with a metal detector. The student and the gun are now in police custody.
The governor of Illinois wants to cut spending for taxpayers. Yesterday, Governor Bruce Rauner gave his annual budget address in Springfield. During his address, Rauner spoke of enacting a pension reform. This reform would take the cost from taxpayers of paying for retirees' pensions and leave the responsibilities to the business. The governor also spoke of providing more funds for public schools while urging public universities to pay their own pension cost as well. Other topics Rauner touched on include funding toward early childhood education, funding toward making structural changes in the state's capital to prevent Legionnaire's disease, funding for Medicaid, and funding for the Department of Transportation.
A town hall meeting for WIU faculty and staff is taking place soon. President Jack Thomas will host the meeting in the University Union Grand Ballroom next Monday from 4 to 5 p.m. A press release from University Relations says the meeting will focus on the positive events taking place at Western.
The Student Government Association is presenting an estimation for student fees for next year. President Grant Reed covered the fee categories for student resources that are available on WIU's campus. There was also an agreement to not have an increase in the semester fee rate for full-time students on campus.
McDonough County Animal Shelter is still in need of supplies after they seized more than 24 animals. The shelter seized the animals from an industry home a few months ago. A shelter employee says they are still in need of supplies like collars for puppies and dish soap. They say they are at capacity after the shelter acquired the animals.
A Wheaton, Illinois man is in custody after a felony amount of cannabis was found in his apartment on West Adams Street. 21-year-old Charles Wilson was arrested after police searched his apartment at 415 West Adams Street. They say they found 158 grams of cannabis packaged for delivery. They also found Vyvanse Adderall in the apartment. Wilson was charged with possession of cannabis with the amount between 100 and 500 grams and possession of cannabis between 30 and 500 grams with the intent to deliver. He's being held at McDonough County Jail pending trial.
Flu activity has led to 20 pediatric deaths so far this year, so recognizing the early symptoms and signs of a flu are vital. Here's Kim Hutchison with more in today's Health Minute.
Young children are at risk of developing serious complications from the flu if symptoms aren't recognized and treated immediately. One of the flu strains spreading this season, H3N2, is affecting children more than usual. And that has many people asking, why is it so deadly?
Sometimes it's the virus infection itself that can become so severe in a person that it can result in death. The flu virus weakens your immune system and you can get a bacterial infection on top of it.
According to the CDC, the best way for parents to protect their children is to get them vaccinated every year. Being able to recognize the warning signs of the flu is also important. Among them, trouble breathing or breathing fast, bluish skin color, not waking up, not interacting, or being unusually irritable. Early detection could save your child's life.
As soon as they have symptoms and they suspect they might have flu, they should call their doctor right away because they could benefit from early treatment with antiviral drugs.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Flu shots are being offered at BU Health Center. Students can get them free with their WIU health insurance. You just have to make an appointment.
This Saturday, the Discovery Depot Children's Museum is hosting an event to capture the excitement of the Winter Olympics. The Olympics triathlon will take place from 11 to 2 in the afternoon. Kids will have the chance to participate in games based off the different winter sports. The activities include a tabletop curling game, a crafting replica of the Olympic signature torch. Attendees will pay a $1 fee for entry on top of the museum's regular admission price.
Rocky is the Valentine that keeps on giving. On Wednesday in the University Union, the WIU community celebrated their beloved mascot, Colonel Rock. Taking a picture with Rocky, which only costs $1, will help fund the Mascot Memorial Plaza. Celebrating past and present Rockies, the $50,000 project was anticipated to be done fall of 2017, but fundraising is still underway. The location is still under construction. To donate to the plaza, WIU has set up a Text to Pledge fundraiser. Text COL ROCK to 41444 or visit wiu.edu/mascot memorial.
Coming up on News 3 Live at 4, a popular store is making its way back to Macomb after its closure last year. Where you'll be able to shop and when after the break.
I think just working with everybody in the newsroom, everybody has such a great camaraderie. All the opportunities that I've been given here have just been amazing to expand on that resume. I try not to beat myself up on the mistakes I make because there's so many opportunities. Just giving that experience, and this is how I got to do things in the real world, is really what the broadcasting and journalism department has done for me. When you have a really good show and that everybody nailed it, I mean, that's one of the best feelings in the world.
Oh, emojis! I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls, just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you!
She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze.
Help up the hand!
Ah, there you go.
Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Jane!
I want apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
I want to be able to stand in front of a camera and tell people the story of what the weather's going to be like that day, or be able to tell people, hey, there's something coming your way, you need to take cover, you need to watch out. And being able to stand in front of a camera and tell not only people who are directly involved, but their family members as well, like, this is what's going on. It's been very important to me because, being in those situations where you are relying on the news to tell you what's going on, I like to be a part of that and helping people with that.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 continues.
Simply reading a story in a newspaper or online, most of us take it for granted. But for people with vision problems, reading can be a chore or impossible. News 3's Kamari Mason reports on a special service on campus that helps bring the printed word to a grateful audience.
My name is Ryan, and today I'll be reading Madonna Choice with you this evening.
The Audio Information Service provides access to printed material to those with visual, physical, or mental disabilities by broadcasting readings over the radio.
We have volunteers and students come in and record audio versions of newspapers and magazines, and then those are broadcast on pre-tuned receivers for anyone who has difficulty reading printed material.
The Audio Information Service may be tucked away in a small part of campus, but newspapers and magazine articles are broadcasted to 20 different counties.
20 counties in 3 states.
Volunteering at the Audio Information Service provides students a chance to gain experience in their majors, and it also provides them with paid employment opportunities.
I first came to the AIS, I first read the Canton Daily Ledger, and I read that on Fridays, and then ever since then, I've just really enjoyed it, and now I'm a student employee here, and it's just been fantastic so far.
Older members of the community also enjoy coming in to read.
Read things I would not normally see, little small town newspapers, but like today I was reading Antique Trader, and I find all these little obscure little factoids interesting.
And the hard work at the Audio Information Service doesn't go unrecognized.
So when they take the time to write us a note to say, thank you, this service makes me feel more connected, makes me feel less isolated, that is really special.
Reporting for News 3, I'm Kamari Mason.
To find out how you can volunteer at the Audio Information Service, visit tristatesaudio.org.
Property owners on the downtown square in Macomb could soon be able to receive more grant funding for needed repairs. Community Development Coordinator Ray Heitner introduced to City Council the expansion of allowing downtown buildings to receive a grant for plumbing and electrical work. Heitner says this policy would only apply to properties needing utility work on the second story of the apartment. The city would award $20,000 to facilities that might meet this need. The policy still must be approved by City Council in the coming weeks.
The Hallmark Crown Store is on its way back to Macomb's downtown square. Nostalgia's owner Laura Dively says customers really wanted to see Hallmark back in the square, so she's making it happen.
So about a year ago, Curlin's closed, and they were our last Hallmark Crown store in the area. And so when they closed, a lot of people were sad, upset, because it was a great store to, find seasonal holiday gifts. So Hallmark Corporate actually came and kind of scouted the area and thought we might be a good fit for store in a store. So we just started researching that and then found that, yeah, this is going to be a great idea.
The new Hallmark store will be on the upper level of Nostalgia's store. The store will be including greeting cards, gifts, ornaments, and home decorations. The Hallmark Rewards program will also be available at this location. Hallmark Crown will be available for customers in early April.
Well, after warmer and a dreary day, there is a chance for more temp swings and rain in the forecast. What to expect for the weekend, coming up next.
was born in St. Charles, Missouri, and grew up with my mom and dad and my younger sister. Funniest or most terrifying? I used to get in trouble for laughing on air, and one day we had someone kind of come in and straighten me out a little bit, if that makes sense, and everybody got a pretty good kick out of that one. My favorite thing about NEWS3 is probably how close we can get in a learning environment to the real world, not only from great things like this studio to the production room and even our writing lab. It's almost like what the professionals use.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be tornado next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Create your success at Western Illinois University. Automatic scholarships and affordable education and more are all yours at Western Illinois University. Apply today at wiu.edu.
Good afternoon and welcome back, Macomb. We're seeing temperatures at about 45 degrees right now. We did see a high of 48 today, but we have stayed with cloudy skies and some foggy skies out there as well. We have a dew point of 43 degrees, which is why we are seeing all that fog. The closer our air temperature is to the dew point means that we are more likely to see fog. We also have humidity at 96%, which is adding to the increased fog, and low wind, so there's nothing to blow it out of the area. So you can see with our almanac, we are actually well above what our average temperatures would be for this time. However, tonight we are going to get close to what the average low is, and we will see that later on. Now, looking at the current surface map, look at all this rain that we saw today, actually. That's still moving through our area, but it's mostly to the southeast of us. And keep an eye on this low right here, because look, that is the exact same outline as what our temperatures are, and that outline is actually going right through our area. So areas to our southeast are experiencing much warmer temperatures than here in Macomb. Now, currently we are seeing temperatures of 45 degrees here. Beardstown, you are seeing 58, and Quincy, you are seeing 55 degrees. Tonight, we are going to see our lows get down to 23 degrees here in Macomb, 27 in Beardstown, and 20 up in Burlington. Tomorrow, we're going to see back around average with 30 degrees for a high here in Macomb, 33 in Beardstown, and 33 over in Quincy. Tomorrow night, we're going to see our temperatures down below the 20s with 18 here in Macomb, 21 in Beardstown, and 22 in Springfield. Tonight, again, we're going to see a low of 23 degrees with some partly cloudy to really cloudy skies, so make sure you have some sort of a jacket on with you if you go out, because those winds are going to be kicking it up a notch from the north-northwest, pushing that low into our area and bringing along the cold temperatures with it. Tomorrow, we're going to see partly cloudy skies with a high of 30 degrees, so not as comfortable as what we saw today, but keep an eye out for the rest of the week, because we're going to see another jump in those temperatures with 30 degrees on Friday with a low of 18, cloudy and 43 on Saturday, so we're going up a little bit in temperature. On Sunday, we are going to see sunny skies finally in our forecast with a high of 54 degrees. But then on Monday, we're going to see a chance for some scattered thunderstorms due to some of the higher temperatures, as we are going to see 62 in our area. Then on Tuesday, we're going to see 46 degrees with some rainy skies.
You know, I was hoping all that rain today would just wash out all the salt and grind.
Hopefully, we see a little bit more rain come through. That way, we can wash a little bit more out of here.
We're not quite out of the woods of the rain yet, right?
No, not quite.
I'm having a lot of fun watching the Winter Olympics this year. You know, it's cold over there, but you know.
I totally agree, John. We've got a lot coming up. David versus Goliath matchups and a recap of last night's Olympic medals coming up when Carter Fahey and the MHS boys basketball team took on number 3 ranked Payson Seymour in a high-intensity matchup. And Michaela Schifrin needing a perfect run in the giant slalom. Would she be able to bring home the gold for the red, white, and blue? Find out next in sports.
in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
I learned broadcasting for 3 years in high school, so towards my senior year, I was pretty much invested in wanting to pursue a career. And I do enjoy it now, but I'm searching for a way to make sure that it's something that I want to pursue after college. That way, I'll be able to wake up every day and say, this is something I want to do, this is something that I love, this is something that I can teach, I can spread, I can affect people with.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in the shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Welcome back to Live at 4. I'm Zach Stone. The Macomb High School boys basketball team faced their toughest test all season long on Tuesday night when the 24-1 Payson-Seymour Indians visited Macomb High School. The Macomb High Bombers would look to senior Carter Fahey and junior Ben Higgins to lead the charge against the 24-1 Indians. And Fahey, ready for the roll, top of the arc, drills the three straight on, and that looked beautiful the whole way. But these Indians are a tough squad. Lucas loose now. He's going to get the dish on the outside. He responds with a three of his own, and they pull it back. 5-3 Bombers still. Fahey again, driving. The dish inside. Brandon Bickers lays it in. Easy two. The Bombers still ahead. And Fahey again, the supplier, this time to John Fuhr, who's blocked by Trevor Voss, but puts it right back. 2 more on the Bombers scorecard. And if you haven't gotten a clue yet, this is a Carter Fahey highlight. The kid's a stud. Shimmy and the long two, 18-3 Bombers. And then he goes inside to Higgins. That's the combo we're talking about, easy layup. And obviously those Bomber fans loving it. It's USA night. They've got the flag, blue, red, white. It's all going good. This time it's going to be Higgins wide off the dribble. It's Xavier Campbell from 3, knocking down another tray. The Bombers taking a dynamic lead. And look at this drive inside. Xavier Campbell at the hoop and the harm, and the Bombers pulling away again. Blake Kelly goes inside. Campbell drive. Tough contact there. No foul, 2 more. And it would just keep coming the Bombers' way inside to Higgins in the 4th. The assist, the bucket, everything goes well. And the Bombers pull away 44-30 to give the Payson-Seymour Indians their 2nd loss of the season. Number 3, Payson-Seymour dropping to 24-2. Macomb plays again in Monmouth-Roseville tomorrow night at 7:30. And the WIU men's basketball team on the road for game number 2 of 3 in their road trip. A matchup against 4th place Fort Wayne, an opportunity for the Leathernecks to pull a game back in the conference. But it would be another loss, the Mastodons putting 45 up in each half to down the Leathernecks by 16. Western Illinois 2-9 in the Summit League this year. The men continue their road trip on Saturday in Brookings, South Dakota. The Jackrabbits, first in the Summit League, currently sitting at 22-6, and they only have 1 loss in the conference. Plus, the WIU women's basketball team, currently sitting 3rd in the Summit League. Their weekend matchup against South Dakota State gives them an opportunity to play spoiler before their conference tournament. Emily Clemens and the Leathernecks at home one more time on Senior Day. That game against 2nd place South Dakota, there will be a ceremony to celebrate the accomplishments of the women's basketball team seniors right before the game starts. Tip-off is set for 4:30 on Saturday. The Western Illinois team is currently ranked 3rd in the Summit League. You have your top 5 standings. South Dakota and South Dakota State 1 and 2. Oral Roberts and Denver rounding out your top 5, sitting far away from 1 and 2. And the United States behind in the medal count so far during the Olympics, but they would be able to add yet another gold to to the count because of this woman right here. Michaela Schifrin, the giant slalom skier, is going to have to hold off on celebrating too much as she has the slalom taking place tonight. If Schifrin were to take home the gold, she would become the first American skier, man or woman, to ever bring home 3 gold medals. The USA still on the outside looking in. There is your medal counts for the Olympics. Norway with 17, 6 gold, 7 silver, and 4 bronze. The Germans and the Canadians rounding out the top 3. The USA still sitting on the outside looking in at the top 3, 8 medals, 5 gold. And with the winter season coming to a close, spring sports are ready to open up their seasons. The WIU baseball team with a 3-game matchup over the weekend on the road. The men go on the road to start the season, a trip to Murfreesboro for a 3-game stand against the Blue Raiders of Middle Tennessee State. The Leathernecks stay on the road for 11 more games before returning home to take on Summit League foe, North Dakota State. That's sports. Final word is next.
I understand. I know it's not your typical resume.
Okay, well.
But candidate. But I've been working double shifts just to pay for books. I've been raising my 2 little brothers. I'm determined, driven, motivated. Isn't that what you're looking for?
Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
I started to think about doing broadcasting my freshman year. I started calling some football games for the freshman football team. My high school didn't really have a broadcasting program like some do, and so a lot of my stuff was just PA for different sports, for basketball, for volleyball. And my mom signed me up for a visit to come to Western on a Discover Western day. And I walked through the doors of the rec center, and Buzz Hoon shook my hand and said, "Zach Stone, I've seen all your footage, I know who you are, and you belong here." And that's what really makes WIU feel like home.
Lambing season has begun at WIU Forum with a set of triplets. These lambs are the first to arrive. There are now more than a dozen little lambs at the Forum.
Now the first set of triplets is all female, and now WIU is asking for help on naming the triplets. You can suggest names on the WIU School of Agricultural Facebook page. Look at them.
So
how cute they are.
I know, right? I'm wondering what kind of names will people
I was
bring
hoping
up?
the Three Stooges, but then when I found out they're all female, I'm just like, come on, that'll work perfect.
I think that would work still because you have 2 of the 3 names that are kind of gender fluid, but
Mo, Larry.
Mo and Curly.
I guess Curly could be girly.
What do you think, Molly, about a name?
I don't know. I'm curious to see what they're going to come up with. That'll be fun, but...
And we're looking for some more milder temperatures coming up.
We've got some swings coming up here with, we're going to drop back down to a little bit around average on Friday, and then Saturday we're going to go up just a little bit with some cloudy skies. Sunday is when we're going to start to see those bigger changes with sunny skies and 54 degrees for a high with 42 for a low. So we're going to stay out of the freezing range and above what we're normally seeing around this time. Then on Monday, we're going to have a chance for some scattered thunderstorms with a high reaching up into the lower 60s. So you might want to open up those windows if you want to, let in some fresh air. But then on Tuesday, we're going to drop back down to about 46 degrees with a chance for rain throughout the day, with a low below freezing at 20 degrees again.
I'm just hoping that even though it's an interesting forecast, I'm hoping that all of the snow will melt eventually. It's so slushy out there.
Hopefully, yes. We get rid of some of that snow.
All right. Well, that's all for us today.
But we're online all the time. Stay up to date with us, news3wiu.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Just search our handle, News3WIU. You can also search for us on YouTube and subscribe. Thank you for joining us this evening.
From all of us at News 3, have a good night, Macomb.